Hey guys, so I thought today that I would step aside from some of the usual things I talk about in regard to homeschool and share with you a little bit about what I'm doing with Timothy for preschool. And I'm finding it's a little bit different this time around. When I had Samuel, a lot of the school for him at that age was mostly just me coming up with things for him to do, for me to know what kinds of things to do with him, to be intentional about my time. But with two of them, things are a little bit different. First of all, they're different because Timothy has Big Brother to play with, and Samuel teaches him a whole lot, and they do lots of things together. I feel like some of the most important things in the preschool ages are that they're exposed to language and to stories and books, and that they have lots of opportunity to do things with their hands, painting and drawing and very open-ended, messy play kind of stuff, and then that they're able to explore their world through play, whether it be dressing up or playing with toys or doing whatever. But that's so much of what's important for the preschool years. And for me, learning alphabet and things like that are not necessarily as important, not really that big of a deal. But I would do things related to the alphabet with Samuel and things like that for me because it would give me a system. I am very systematic in my thinking, and so I have to have a system that I'm working through or to kind of give me a spine for my teaching. So I would do with Samuel activities based on certain letters and things like that. So now that I'm schooling Timothy, things are a little bit different. He plays with Samuel a lot, so I'm not needing to come up with the same amount of activities that I did for Samuel because Timothy's doing that. But I was noticing that it's easy for me, with Samuel being the age that he is, to plan lots of things for Samuel and think that Timothy's going to come along, but not really do things that are Timothy's age appropriate for him, developmentally appropriate for him. So this is kind of what I have done to kind of combat that. When I am doing school, like basically math and English, the core subject time with Samuel in the morning, sometimes Timothy gets bored. So I've had to think of things to do to keep him occupied, and this is part of his school. So he's welcome to do whatever he wants during that time, but if he's having a hard time coming up with things, I have some workbook activities or art ideas. He loves drawing on the whiteboard or things like that I will specifically have out for him. Sometimes I'll have like a particular, I'll pull out farmland math, which is what I used with Samuel, and I'll let him play with those. Or I might pull out pattern blocks or things like that, so that he can still be at the learning table with us and still kind of be involved, but be doing something that he can do independently so I can work with Samuel. After I finish up with Samuel, the way I have it broken down is at that point, if the boys want to go play together, that's totally fine. But I really like to do things that are important for Timothy as well. So I have my days of the week broken up, and for each day of the week, I have kind of a theme and a list of activities to offer for Timothy. I don't always stick exactly to the same day of the week or whatever and kind of bend it a little bit, but basically this gives me an idea of things to do, and it makes sure that I'm taking that block of time and really focusing on Timothy. Samuel joins us sometimes, just like Timothy does with some of Samuel's things, but it's really focused more toward him. So one day a week we'll do a game. Timothy will pick out a game from the closet and we'll play it, our game closet. One day a week we'll do something phonics related, and one day we'll do something math related. One day I will just do imaginative play with them. So I'll specifically play with Timothy with whatever he wants. So if he wants to make a store, we'll do that or do whatever. And one day a week too, we do something messy, hands-on. So it might be science experiment, it might be painting, messy painting that I don't usually get out for them, or Play-Doh or something along those lines. So that's pretty much it as far as that. Now, in the afternoon time, that's when I have my big block of time for Samuel. And mostly I focus on him. That's when we do like science and history and things like that. But sometimes Timothy really likes to get involved, and I do try to get things for him during that time that are related as well. So I might put coloring pages out, for example, which Samuel might not really like, but I know that Timothy will like. Or I might pick books that are on Timothy's level, or things related to Timothy that have to do with it. In fact, let's see, was it yesterday we were working on some stuff for history, and there were some interactive games that Timothy really liked. Samuel wasn't as interested. He was happy to watch Timothy try and play them, but Timothy was having so much fun playing them, and it was really good. Another thing that I do, every Friday, Timothy gets to play abcmouse.com. And Samuel gets to do it too, and they're both on their own different levels or whatever, but that whole experience really is primarily for Timothy. And he loves it, and he's getting a lot out of it. I wouldn't do it probably just with Samuel because, I don't know, I feel like he doesn't quite need it as much at this point. But it is fun for them, and they both learn a lot, and it's a really good way for them to kind of be learning together, which is really fun too. And of course, story time. I try to read stories to Timothy. It's so funny because I could read stories to him all day. Timothy could take them or leave them. Some days he likes to have lots of stories read. Other days he's just not interested. So I try to pick out books that would be interesting to Timothy. Timothy also gets more, which I think is pretty typical, hooked on one story to read over and over and over and over again, versus Samuel, he's read it once, he's ready for something new. So I try and have things for Timothy, and we definitely read to him every night, and sometimes I'll read to him more. And yeah, it's just different the way that they express themselves and grow and do. And that's kind of what we do. As far as actual curriculum for Timothy, the only thing that I use is abcmouse.com, and I also have Mathematical Reasoning A, because he saw Samuel using the mathematical reasoning books, and he didn't. He saw them online. We were looking at them online or something, and he really was excited, and he loves sitting down and doing that with me. So we have a lot of fun doing that together. And then the other main thing is just games. He loves playing games, and we love interacting together. So that is mostly what we do for preschool. I'm still trying to figure out what to do for Timothy when I'm reading books to Samuel that Timothy's not interested in. Sometimes that can be a bit of a problem. But for the most part, that's what we do for preschool. Of course, I let Timothy cook with me, and he has access to all of the same things that Samuel has. And in some ways, he's exposed to more than Samuel was at his age academically, because I'm doing so much with Samuel as well. And that's pretty much what we do for preschool. It's pretty laid back. We also do field trips, go to the zoo, things like that. But yeah, that's kind of how I do preschool with my second child. So I'd love to hear some things that you're doing for preschool right now. Are you using curriculum? Are you just kind of going with the flow? I would love to hear, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.